Hello, dear friends, and welcome to our full moon ceremony in the signs of Capricorn and Cancer. Let us begin our ceremony with an alignment so that we may feel our connection to one another. Let us close our eyes and for a few minutes just notice the gentle rhythm of your breathing. Feel how it calms the body down. And be aware now of just being fully present in this moment. Imagine yourself sitting in a sacred circle with each person who is listening to this video. And let our intention be to create within this circle a positive energy field of light and love, a receptive group field. And now let us take a moment to enter the silence of our own hearts. Sitting in this silence, begin to be aware again of your breathing, aware of the beating of your heart, aware that we are alive and present here on earth. Imagine a flame burning in the center of your heart. This is the fire of love that burns at the core of our being. Know that this fire exists within each of us, within everyone. Focus now on that flame of love in your heart and send it out to every person in our group, even though we may not know them. Beams of light to everyone, including those who are not with us today. Let us weave a matrix of light around our circle. And now imagine this flame in your heart moving into the center of our circle. Each person's flame blending with the other flames. Our love and light are meeting and joining, creating a vortex of burning, radiant light. When our consciousness blends with others in our circle, we begin to build a group soul. Let us imagine now this vortex moving upwards until it shines above our heads as a radiant ball of light. This group soul, which now contains all of our love, all of our light and wisdom, is there to be shared with one another. There is a sense that we are united in this group soul, in that my consciousness is yours and yours is mine. One consciousness, all working together. Let us imaginatively tap into this group soul and open ourselves to receive the love and light that it holds. Gently bring yourselves back now. Open your eyes and feel your connection to the earth. Feel yourself grounded in the mother. Okay, thank you. I know these last few months have been difficult for some of us. We're perhaps feeling a certain degree of fear, trying to live with the uncertainty of the times. And I would like to invite you to be gentle with yourselves and with each other, to know that we are all doing the best that we can in a challenging time. So thank you for giving yourself this hour to be informed, yes, but also to be able to rest in the love and support of this group and feel a sense of connection and perhaps even peace. As we begin this new year, we're crossing a threshold, leaving behind whatever pain, sadness, and overwhelm we might have felt in 2024, and envisioning a new year, ripe with possibilities and hope. In that vein, I'd like to begin with a prayer. The first two sentences of this prayer are taken from what we are told is the oldest prayer in the world, the Gayatri. O thou who givest sustenance to the universe, from whom all things proceed, and to whom all things return. And then my words. Please hear our prayer. At this special time, when we are welcoming a new year, we wish also to honor the gifts of this past year. If we felt grief, may we find again the light. If we were lost in despair, may we feel hope being birthed in us again. Through the chaos, fear, and uncertainty, may we find peace. May we see that through all these challenges, we were strengthened. May we realize that the pain broke our hearts open to more compassion. May we recognize that through all the powerful, painful images that we saw, we were inspired to greater service. We send our gratitude for these precious gifts. And as we begin this new cycle, we ask for grace to see us through whatever is ahead. We ask for vision to help us see what is possible. And we ask for courage to face the unknown. We ask for help in finding that understanding and compassion within ourselves so that we may be of greater service to the world. Amen. As a way of honoring this new beginning, I'd like to start with a poem called First Light by Heather Easterline. A weathered hand, rough and gnarled, reaches down to stroke your cheek as you lay curled in the darkness, waiting. Grandmother Moon speaks. Reach in your pocket, child, and see what seeds there are to be sown. We have much to do. With a barely audible creak, like the opening door of an ancient farmhouse, a sliver of light is revealed in the night sky. Now, Here is the moon in her maiden form. Can you feel the energy rising? What path shall you choose? She asks. Come, it's time to get started. I'll light the way. End quote. So this is the perfect time to choose what path you want to walk upon this new year. What lies ahead for you? What would you like to manifest in 2025? As some of you know, I'm a student of esoteric philosophy, sometimes called the ancient wisdom teachings. And they tell us that 2025 is a very powerful year because it is the year when the great ones meet in conclave to discuss humanity's potential evolutionary progress for the next 100 years. These great beings do not control our progress. That's our job. But using the energies and forces that they do control, they pour them down upon our planet, hoping that we will use them for the highest good. This is why we meet every month and sit in receptivity at the full moon. The energies are particularly potent at each full moon, as the great ones gaze down upon us. And at the same time, we turn our gaze upward to meet them. We open ourselves to receive. We then dedicate ourselves to integrating and radiating the energies outward to all that we meet. The purpose of this conclave is to review how well the spiritual plan for humanity is working out, how much of the spiritual teachings have been assimilated. They will also review humanity's alignment with divine will, spiritual principles, and planetary karma. A consideration of the needs of the animal, vegetable, and mineral kingdoms will also take place. Finally, there will be discussions and decisions as to whether humanity is ready for more spiritual shifts. Are we ready to be initiated into the next level of consciousness? Once that has all been determined, the decisions around the introduction of new energies and teachings for the next cycle will be decided. So let us do all we can to purify and strengthen our spiritual bodies to receive these new impulses coming from the great ones. And let us commit to using them for the highest possible good. So this full moon, as the first one in the significant year of 2025, is particularly potent. So let's talk for a few minutes about the specific aspects of this full moon. The astrologer Janet Kane has this to say about some of the energies we'll be facing in 2025. She says this, quote, "This month, we continue the transformation that began on November 19th, when Pluto entered Aquarius. The unusual astrological patterns forming now and over the next 18 months are paving the way for one of the most remarkable changes in world history. During this period, all of the outer planets will shift signs, moving from water and earth into air and fire signs. Water and earth signs value money and possessions. They are practical, grounded, and focused on the present. However, they can also be greedy, risk-averse, and lacking in ideals. In contrast, air signs are mental, and fire signs are spiritual. This combination can potentially bring a much-needed, long-delayed shift in consciousness for humanity. Air and fire signs are idealistic, positive, creative, entrepreneurial, revolutionary, aspirational, and humorous," end quote. So couldn't we use a lot of those qualities these days? And let us concentrate on these positive signs as we enter this new year. Let's talk a bit about the Cancer Capricorn energies now. Capricorn is an earth sign, meaning that the lessons the Capricornian has to learn must be worked out on the physical plane. The challenges faced must be faced in everyday life. It's a very pragmatic sign, practical and grounded in physical reality, as we've just mentioned. There are two images that represent the Capricorn journey. One is the mountain goat, and the other a mountain top. The mountain goat is sure-footed, steady, cautious, but determined to reach the goal, the top of the mountain. As a Capricorn personality, meaning there's no conscious connection to the soul yet, this sign is ruled by a strong will. She will use all of her will to climb that mountain of materialism. Using her ambition, her striving, her effort, she will seek the heights and will desire much recognition, praise, and acknowledgement for her successes. She is driven by her fear and insecurity and is therefore vulnerable to the opinions of others. She wants to fit in, to conform to society's standards, and to achieve status in the eyes of the world. The focus of this personality life, or ego life, is to open the door to the fulfillment of material ambition. And therefore, she can be self-centered and ego-driven. She can also become rigid in her attempt to play by the rules. The mantra for the Capricorn disciple, the soul-infused disciple, is, "Lost am I in light supernal, yet on that light I turn my back." Once there is some degree of soul infusion, the disciple begins the journey toward the top of a different mountain, a mountain of spiritual aspiration and initiation. On this mountain, she recognizes the light of the soul, and she aspires to greater spiritual expansion. She climbs step by step up the mountain, facing her own darkness with each step. Fearlessly, courageously, she uses her will to face what is in need of transformation within her. The goal is transfiguration, a complete redemption of the personality through fusion with the soul. When that takes place, she is at the top of the mountain. She has overcome her fears and insecurity and stands tall and confident in her own power. She claims her own inner authority, not being swayed by society's standards or expectations. She is filled with the light of the soul, and her personality takes its rightful place as a servant to her soul. The journey, however, is not yet over. Now she must turn her back on that brilliant light and make her way back down the mountain, becoming a light to those just beginning their journey. She must now labor for the divine plan and apply in a practical way her intuitive understandings. She must live in the world as a beacon of light to those whom she might serve. She becomes the Bodhisattva. And now a poem from Maya Stein, How to Climb a Mountain. Make no mistake, this will be an exercise in staying vertical. Yes, there will be a view later, a wide swath of open sky, but in the meantime, tree and stone. If you're lucky, a hawk will coast overhead, scanning the forest floor. If you're lucky, a set of wildflowers will keep you cheerful. Mostly, though, a steady sweat. Your heart fluttering indelicately, a solid ache perforating your calves. This is called work, what you will come to know eventually and simply as movement, as all the evidence you need to make your way. Forget where you were. That story is no longer true. Level your gaze to the trail you're on, and even the dark won't stop you. end quote. Hence the need for the mountain goat, steady and sure as he climbs the vertical way. Some additional descriptive words for Capricorn are the administrator, the authority, the status seeker, the responsible one, the realist, and the loner. Of course, the way these energies will manifest in any one individual depends on how the other planets interact in one's chart. So let's talk now for a bit about Capricorn's opposite sign, Cancer. I know this polarity very well, as my rising sign is Capricorn and my moon is in Cancer. The struggle is real, believe me. Cancer is a water sign, which means she needs to focus on her emotional, physical, and spiritual needs, while Capricorn needs to develop an internal belief in his own authority. He needs to recognize his own sovereignty, to stand alone and realize his own inner truth and trust it. Cancer, as we know, is a sign of nurturing, protective, and caring always for others. The danger here is that we become too involved in the needs of others. We give our power away and can take on a victim mentality. We can become martyrs and sacrifice ourselves for others, ignoring our own needs. When Capricorn and Cancer are balanced, we can hold on to our own power while still caring for others. We become stronger in our own identities and we don't meld with everyone else energetically. One of the small examples I can give you from my own life is this. When my children were young and still in the house, I would notice that whenever one of them was in the same room with me, I could not hold on to whatever I was doing. My energy just automatically went right to them. I lost what I was doing and completely melded with their energy. I know some of this is normal. We have to be aware of our children and what they're doing. But the more I became aware of this tendency, the more I realized that I did it with everyone. I could not hold on to myself. I finally learned to be more mindful of my own energy and would literally breathe it back into my body when I realized it had gone elsewhere. I would notice it was going out of me and I would consciously see that energy come back into my own body. One of the shadow aspects of Cancer energy is codependence, which I just described, giving our energy away to other people. That's what we called it when I was a therapist anyway. Stephanie Austin has this to say about this Capricorn Cancer polarity. Quote, all full moons illuminate the shadow side of each sign, as well as their spiritual quests. Too much Cancerian water, too much unprocessed emotion and wounding, and our rational frontal cortex is flooded, shunting us into our reactive fight, flight, or freeze reptilian brain. Too much Capricorn Earth blocks us from fulfilling our destiny, burying our spirit in numbing routines and stifling traditions. The dark side of Cancer can either be the eternal child, dependent and unwilling to grow up, or the eternal mother, harried, overburdened, and depressed. Capricorn's shadow can also manifest in contrary ways as blind faith and conformity, wanting to be told what to do and who to be, or in coveting power and control, worshiping status, wealth, and winning at any cost. We are being called to balance caring for others with taking care of ourselves. Both Cancer and Capricorn are yin, receptive signs, which function best by reflecting inwardly first before taking action. End quote. One final piece of information before we start our guided visualization. The Chinese New Year occurs on January 29th here in the US. And this is the year of the wood snake. This information is taken from the Wee Moon calendar for 2025. It will be interesting to see if any of this energy coincides with the astrological energies. Wood snake is a symbol of wisdom, making snake year the time to coil up, contemplate, and reflect. The element wood symbolizes growth. Like a plant in springtime, this wood snake year offers the unique opportunity to quickly shed the skins of the past, creatively express what is in the shadows, and move forward, covering much ground. Snake is a yin animal who benefits from being flexible like bamboo, easily adapting to change. A wood year is a time to be engaging and to grow with others, to become involved in a spiritual community or enjoy spiritual pastimes such as yoga or meditation. So let's hear it for our inner snake. May she come out with grace. All right, let us prepare now for our guided visualization. Make sure you are seated comfortably with your spine erect. As you close your eyes, put your attention on your breath. Begin to breathe slowly and evenly. And pay attention to the feeling of alignment and centeredness that begins to emerge. Now gently breathe in the color green, and with the out breath, say calm. Breathe in the color white, and with the out breath, say peace. And finally, bring in the color rose pink, and with the out breath, say love. Notice how your body feels now that it is filled with calm, peace, and love. Now I'd like to take you on an imaginary journey. In your mind's eye, see yourself in a place of beauty and peace. It could be a place you have actually visited, or it could just be in your imagination. As you find yourself there, look around and notice what you see. Where are you? Take a deep breath now and breathe into the scent of the place. Now listen carefully. What noises do you hear? Imagine that the temperature is just right and that you can feel a soft breeze touching your cheeks. You are relaxed and safe in this sacred place. If you look around, you see a mountain. In your imagination, See yourself climbing that mountain. If you imagine that this is a picture of where you are on the spiritual path, where do you place yourself? Just starting out? Halfway up? Contemplate this for a few minutes. This is the mountain of your spiritual ascent. Pause for a moment and rest right where you are. Then look behind you to the beginning of the trail and take a moment to appreciate how far you've come. Can you see the thread of your life being woven together into a beautiful tapestry because of your conscious choices to follow your soul's calling? Send gratitude and appreciation to yourself for the journey you have made so far. Then, with courage, look ahead to the mountaintop. It's an arduous journey to the top. You know it will take courage and determination to reach the peak. Going within again, ponder for a few minutes on what might be in the way of you reaching the summit. See if you can imagine now what might help transform those obstacles that are in the way. Now, seeing yourself standing in your place on the mountain, imagine a brilliant light radiating downward from the mountaintop. No matter where you are on this mountain, that light is pulling you upward, urging you to take every necessary step to reach the top. Take a moment to dedicate yourself anew to this sacred journey. When you feel complete, bring yourself back down the mountain and back to your sacred space. And give thanks for this opportunity to see more deeply into your spiritual path. And please keep your eyes closed as we finish with a poem and a prayer. This is the poem by M. Clare called Love Itself. Please do not regret all those moments that have brought you here. If you are reading this, then your perseverance has been answered, and a grace is coming. So for now, hold on loosely to where you are. And like knots on a rope that mark your reaching, hand over hand, you will continue to climb. Sometimes through ecstasy, sometimes through white agony, but higher and higher into ever more light. The same formula over and over again, until that day you find yourself just a beacon, only flame in a place where even love itself has come undone. And now this prayer for our new year. I bless this year of my life. I bless all that it offered me, and I bless all that I received. I thank myself for this year of my life. I thank myself for everything I tried, whether or not it worked. I thank myself for all the times I believed in myself, even if I could not sustain it for as long as I would have liked. I thank myself for living this year with as much integrity as I could muster, given the circumstances. I thank myself for never giving up, even though there were moments of despair. I am grateful to have survived. I am grateful for the times I stretched. I thank myself for the times I did get it right. I thank myself for the times I spoke my truth and for the times I hunted for my truth. Now I ask that this new beginning be blessed. May I feed it with my love and attention. May this new beginning grow into a beautiful year of blessing for myself and for the world. And I'd like us to take a moment of silence now in silent prayer for the catastrophic situation in California. When you are ready, please open your eyes and come back to your room, moving your body and feeling your feet connected to the earth. Thank you, dear friends, for giving yourself the gift of this quiet time to welcome in the new year. Remember that tomorrow is the day of contact. The exact moment of the full moon is 2:27 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And so this is the day in which we are asked to safeguard the energies that are poured down upon us. It's called the day of contact and the day of safeguarding, just to make sure that we do not misuse these powerful energies. So many blessings, my dear friends. Until next time, namaste. Yes, I do.